on the previous episode of Talk That Talk.
I think band directors at the HBCU level are asked to do more than other programs, so it becomes stressful. Like Sebren said, you get burnt out, man, when a student comes into one ensemble ill prepared and you're playing grade 5 music. Because the piece they were playing that he was messing the articulation up was Ride by Samuel Hazel. And there's junior and senior bands around this country playing that piece. And in his mind, I'm sure he's like, man, I got all this other stuff on me, and this kid decided to come to rehearsal unprepared. I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah. But Maya, that's the thing. So I think that brings up the second thing I want to say, and I'll get out, is as HBCU students, we have to understand the standard that's been set by our band director, and we have to meet that standard every day.
Yeah.
There are many instances where a lot of our students think it's okay to show up to rehearsal late, or show up to rehearsal without having practice, or show up to rehearsal 10, 15 minutes late, whenever they feel like it, and haven't warmed up. And then they're expected to play Ride, which is not an easy piece, at a high level. At my institution, if you show up like that, you're going to hear about it just like Maya said. But the expectation is that you don't do that. You know why? Because everybody in the ensemble is going to turn around and go. And that pressure is going to make you not show up and do that again. So once again, I'll say it's not just the band directors. It's the people that go to these institutions and the standard that's been set by the band director and then the student meeting that standard. But no way in hell should a band director be cussing at a student. Point blank, period.
Before I get to Quan, it made me think. So you talk about say what?
I said, or slapping a student.
Or so. There we go. Talk about that. But before I get to Quan, it just kind of made me think with what you said. It kind of goes back to one of the things that we were talking about earlier. The expectation should start in the secondary programs, because if the secondary programs are allowing that to happen, then the students come to the programs or the university programs with that same expectation. But here's the caveat to that. The caveat But the caveat to that, in my opinion, is, are these directors who are teaching these kids in these secondary programs coming from these HBCU programs without standards? So the question is it a cycle? So you look like you got a lot on your mind.
Am I muted? No. It's a cycle, but I'm going to tell you why it's a cycle. Because we're not professional. Let me ask you, I'm going to use Rick's point from earlier. Rick, what happened to you when you showed up to English class unprepared and you didn't read the chapter? You know what happened? You got an F. How many times you seen people get an F out of band? You ain't got to yell at these kids. It's a college course. You failed them. And the next time they're going to say, I got to have my stuff together. Because how many times have you signed up for a class and they say, oh, you taking such and such for chemistry? Don't play around with her. She'll fail you. You cussing me out, you slap me upside the head and you giving me an A. And then I go out here in the workforce and I don't understand this accountability system that we have going on. That's all that it is. It's a lack of professionalism. Fail them. Set the standard elsewhere. Stop making this a family. Stop being my uncle and be my professor. And my professor is going to say, you were not prepared for class. There's a requirement for class. This is a lab course. You cannot complete it. You got an F. Not push them through and love on them.
Well, and playing test, Stephen. This is a lab that requires you to be able to perform at a certain level. So on Fridays, we're having playing exams on this piece of music. If you can't play it, you will receive an F. If you can play it, you will pass. Like, Sebren, man, you preaching that knowledge today, boy.
Okay. Soulmate on the show. Oh Lord. Hold up. Let me move Maya real quick. All right, there we go. Now y'all together.
So, right, okay.